What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. We actually have some good news today. We got a surprise update from Treyarch with a brand new set of patch notes, and that's what we're going to be covering here in today's video. The update did not require any form of a download, so it was not a big title update. It's one of those updates that will require you to restart your application for the update to go through, but they did give us a couple of patch notes. Before we talk about that, just a reminder, I am doing an operator bundle giveaway. If you want a chance to win one for yourself, all you got to do is comment down below your Activision ID, which operator bundle you want, and if you win, I'll gift you the operator bundle. The next winner will be chosen this weekend, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So they said Call of Duty multiplayer patch notes for January 9th. Global characters address an issue where Maya's Joyride operator skin would not be visible past 70 meters. So this was an issue that was available in both multiplayer, Warzone, as well as zombies. Multiplayer, really, it wasn't the biggest problem, but over there on Warzone, it was a major issue, and they look like they have actually re-enabled the operator skin as well. So if you do own that bundle, you can go ahead and use her again. Now, the next thing that they did was also global UI, and they addressed some visual issues with the event tab, and considering we have the Squid Games crossover in that event tab, they are not going to let any problems slide, so they're going to fix that right away. And then the next thing that we have, which is the last one for global, is audio. Address the issue where audio was not playing for event milestone banners in game. So these are all the issues for global. Now we jump into the multiplayer specific problems. So the modes red light, green light, increase XP awarded from the match bonus, so you should be able to get a little bit more. Stability added, various stability fixes. Hopefully this actually stops the crashing, because most times they do say this in almost every single patch note and it doesn't make any difference. But the next thing that we have, this is for zombies. It says, hey everyone, let's talk about those changes from January 3rd. The team is always focused on making zombies fun and rewarding. It's why we make video games, but we don't always nail it the first time. Some fixes for bugs or exploits can become lower priority as more important issues come up, and some need to be held for an update further down the line. Last Friday's changes to the big game for Shadow Rift, the shock charge speedrun step for Terminus, and the directed mode spawn delays after 5 loop rounds are prime examples of these. We know it's not fun to see a fix multiple weeks later for something that wasn't bothering you in the first place, so we're reverting the directed mode changes, giving Shadow Rift 4 new buffs, and scheduling a fix to allow speedrunners to safely use the shock charge tactic in Terminus again. The first 2 are live now, with the speedrun fix needing some extra testing before it goes live. Thanks to everyone for the reports of the visual effects not showing properly in Citadel de Mor and crashes that can happen when you're using the sword while Ether Shroud is active with the Void Sheath augment. The team produced fixes for these bugs shortly after they popped up, and they are live today. So basically, to summarize it, they did apologize for making changes that they know no one wanted in the first place. We already have plenty of issues that we want them to focus on, but instead they were nerfing directed mode and doing things that no one really asked for. So they have reverted those changes and they have apologized, but they went ahead and covered some map changes. So Citadel de Mor addressed an issue where using the Void Sheath augment for Ether Shroud with one of the elemental swords would cause the match to crash. Addressed an issue where many visual effects would stop playing. For directed mode, addressed an issue where guidance would be incorrect if a player disconnected with a stamp. Addressed the issue where guidance would be incorrect each time a new stamp spawned in. Addressed the issue where picking up Soulless after a stamp was spawned could prevent quest progression. For the modes, directed mode, remove the extended time between rounds and the delay between spawning zombies after 5 loop rounds at the round cap. Ammo mods, Shadow Rift activation rates, normal enemy activation rates increased from 15 to 20%, special enemy activation rate increased from 5 to 7%, elite enemy activation rate with big game augment equipped increased from 5 to 7%, cooldown timer decreased cooldown by 25%. The big game augment for Shadow Rift was never intended to one-shot elites, but we know it worked like that for months, and we heard you about this latest change taking too much away from the Shadow Rift overall. So we've added 4 buffs to make Shadow Rift activate more frequently, including a 25% cooldown reduction to keep it powerful and fun to use. Now they did some LTM highlights and adjustments. So Dead Light, Green Light added Liberty Falls to the map selection, increased round cap to 20 before exfil. With the launch of Dead Light, Green Light, we wanted to to ease players into the LTM with a single map and a 10-round cap before exfil to make sure majority of players had a chance to be successful without feeling they needed gobblegums to survive. Basically a bite-sized experience that's not too punishing. Looks like it was too easy and over too soon for a lot of you. Starting today, we've added Liberty Falls to the map selection and extended the round cap to 20. After that, we'll plan week 3's round cap extension based on how crazy the community wants the challenge to get. Now, stability, various stability fixes. Now here they're actually a little bit more vocal. They said sometimes bugs appear fixed in testing but turn out to still be an issue in the live game after the patch notes go out. This sucks for everyone involved and it can lead to inaccurate patch notes, which we never want. The vermin double attack bug is one of these, and like the Terminus speedrun fix, the proper solution for it unfortunately can't be implemented as quickly as some of the other items listed above. Look for those to be fixed when the Season 2 update launches on January 28th. So number one, they have just confirmed the launch date for the Season 2 update, which actually ends up falling on a Tuesday. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to get any of the details or teasers or anything like that until maybe 2 weeks from now. So that's when we're going to start getting more intel on what that Season 2 update is, but at least they confirmed the date for us. But that's pretty much everything in terms of the patch notes that they went ahead and talked about here for multiplayer and zombies. In terms of Warzone, they did add one brand new update, and that is the Armory. So the Armory has now re-enabled in the menu for players to use. Many of you who have not unlocked every single weapon in the game, or maybe there was like a DLC or some sort of an event that you missed out on, you can now use the Armory to unlock the weapons that you missed out on. All you have to do is go into it, pick the weapon that you want to unlock, and then activate it. Once you activate that weapon, it will usually require maybe like 125,000 XP, something along those lines. You'll get that XP, and then that will unlock the weapon for you. This will work with weapons, equipments, attachments, perks, MW2, MW3 weapons, anything in the past that you never got a chance to unlock, you will now be able to get it through the Armory. I'm not entirely sure why they disabled it for as long as they did, but at least now it's officially back. Now, one unfortunate thing is that Raven didn't upload or post any sort of patch notes, so it didn't look like Warzone received an update other than the Joyride operator skin being re-enabled. That was pretty much all they did. Now, from the patch notes that we received today, one thing that I can give Treyarch credit for is it looks like they've updated the patch notes to actually describe the changes in more detail on exactly what they did, why they did them, and when they implement them. So for example, in the zombie section and every single category, they gave us the details. We wanted to make these changes for so-and-so reason. We decided this was probably not the best idea, and we have reverted these changes, or we're going to do the rest of these updates on this day in Season 2, stuff like that, which I feel like is something Warzone needs direly, because Warzone is a big mess. There's cheaters, hackers, crashes, bugs, problems. There's so many issues going on with Warzone that, I mean, they need to speak up and at least say something. Even creators who are usually the ones who go to Call of Duty events, for example, Swag and Charlie Intel, these bigger creators who get invited to the dev calls and the big events that they host, they're actually not getting any sort of replies. The devs aren't talking to them. They're not explaining what's going on, and they're sort of just ignoring everyone. And I feel like that's what's causing the downfall for Call of Duty overall in general, and I think they need to get back into that communication. They did that really well in Modern Warfare 3, and look how that turned out. It was actually a really good game, and they did not have long to develop it. So when you compare MW3's updates, events, crossovers, the consistent content that they always had pushing in every other week, the weekly challenges that we got, the aftermarket parts, you got to remember MW3 was a fraction of the time when it came to development compared to the 4 years that Black Ops 6 was being worked on, and MW3 is so far better in almost every single aspect. So hopefully Treyarch can take a couple of examples from Sledgehammer and communicate with the community. Feedback is always something that can help Call of Duty become a lot better, and I feel like the voice of the community is very loud and Call of Duty is just choosing to ignore it. But that's all I got for you guys here in today's video. Hope you guys found it informative. Hope you guys are excited for the upcoming changes and updates for Call of Duty. But it's been your boy Chizo, and I'll see you guys again. Peace.